Who else here is really excited for me to talk about this thrilling 0-0 draw between Iran and Cape Verde, where it came down to penalties and Iran squeaked through? What an absolute thriller. Am I right? No. Alright everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel, and this is going to be your guys' review for Iran's 0-0 draw against Cape Verde, which they won in penalties 5-4. For all of you that may be wondering, why did this game go to penalties? Because it's this mini 4-country tournament between Iran, Cape Verde, Uzbekistan, and Egypt, so they needed to have a team advance to see who would face off against Uzbekistan and Egypt. Per usual in all my reviews, I will be talking about the match, but as well, I do want to shed some light on this international window for Iran facing off against Cape Verde, because I didn't do a video talking about it, giving my thoughts on these matchups leading up to the World Cup, or these actual valuable matches in preparation for the upcoming World Cup. So we're going to be talking about all that, positives, negatives, my thoughts, what's going on in this dome in this video. But boys and girls, don't forget, if you're a big fan of Iranian national team content, this is the channel that you need to be at, so make sure to subscribe. Let's smash a like button on this video. Let's get close to 50 likes on this video. I believe in each and every one of you, and if we don't get to 50 likes, then I have no idea what's gonna happen, but I might be a little bit sad. So make it happen. And as well, I know I didn't do a live stream for this match against Cape Verde, but I will be going live, doing a watch along for whoever Iran faces in the final. I believe most likely it will be Egypt, because if it is Uzbekistan, I'm gonna be crying in my sleep. So make sure to click the link in the annotations or down in the description and click notify me so you know when I go live for that match on Tuesday. When it comes to the lineup that we put out for this match against Cape Verde, I thought it was okay, nothing too crazy. I think for me, the biggest positives were Majid Hosseini back in the starting lineup and playing a 3-man midfielder, which featured Ghorbani, who I've waxed lyrical about. These are two guys, Hosseini and Ghorbani, that I want to see Iran have as main guys, as starters going into this World Cup, and we saw in this match they were very good. I don't really feel like there's anything much different from any of the other reviews when it comes to talking about the Iranian national team that I really need to discuss in this game. Don't get me wrong, I don't think it was a horrid fest, but yet again, this team, the tactics that Amir Ghalenoei puts out just don't look inspiring. They don't look like they have that cutting edge, the technique to be able to take down an opponent if it isn't for individual brilliance from our more high-end players. I don't think this is one of the worst performances I've seen from Iran, but it's not really anything new or surprising on how we played. It ended 0-0. There were spurts where Cape Verde were the more dominant team. They had possession. Iran had small glimpses here and there, but it's just like a very dull performance for a national team that, yes, I'm happy that we got to play against Cape Verde, but it is very evident why it is their first ever time qualifying for a World Cup. At the end of the day, beggars can't be choosers, and Iranian national team fans know that the Iranian national team just do all of our heads in when it comes to them getting good friendlies leading up to major tournaments, be it in the Asian Cup, in the World Cup. So compared to some of the previous matches we've had in recent years leading up to this World Cup, this friendly isn't awful, but it's kind of on that same tier, maybe like a peck below playing against Uzbekistan, because both of these national teams, Uzbekistan, Cape Verde, who may face off in the losers bracket of this tournament, are first-time qualifiers for the World Cup because of the new expanded format. They aren't bad national teams, but they aren't one of the ones with massive pedigree. Yes, Cape Verde have some pretty good players that play across Europe, even in MLS. And again, I'm not complaining. This is a friendly I would happily take. I just think what is frustrating is we haven't seen Iran have good preparation going into this World Cup. So again, I think it's okay. And we all understand the circumstances when it comes to Iran getting friendlies because of the federation, due to politics, all these things, our own faults, external faults. So essentially what I'm trying to say is beggars can't be choosers. But it just seems like with this lack of preparation that we're having, it seems like the players don't look as sharp. They don't look as motivated. The tactics don't look as good because they're not put under the pressure. Like, let's say if Iran had a friendly against, I don't know, Colombia. Let's use them for an example. And they put them to the sword. Like, I remember when Colombia had a friendly against the US and they smacked them, I believe, like 5-1. Those are the type of friendlies, yes, it would suck to see your national team lose by that big of a margin, but there's something to learn from it. What are the deficiencies to motivate the players, make them hungry, being like, hey, we're not where we need need to be going into this World Cup, because all these like monotonous 0-0s, 1-0s, 2-2s, 1-1s doesn't really benefit us. It doesn't really tell us anything. And that's pretty much what we saw here today. The only thing that was different from all the other matches was this game went to penalties. There was no extra time. They just needed to decide a winner to see who would play in this final against either Uzbekistan and Egypt. And I will give Iran this, for as much as they were frustrating and have been frustrating, this current group of players are actually quite good in penalty shootouts. As much as I don't rate Beiranvand anymore, he is a really good goalkeeper in penalty shootouts. And as well, everyone that took penalties, they were all top tier. To my best of knowledge, I've only ever seen Iran play in 2 penalty shootouts in my lifetime following the national team, which was against Syria in the recent Asian Cup, and in this match, and in both of those matches, the penalties Iran had by the takers, by Beiranvand who had to save them, top tier. That is one thing I will give us credit for, is we are really good in shootouts. I just wish we could see us do something big like that in a World Cup match, maybe an Asian Cup semi-final, final, where there are some big implications for winning the shootout. I thought one of the funniest parts of the shootout was Omi Nurafkan's penalty, because he went up first, he scored it. It was a great penalty, but the way he was celebrating it was so funny. It's like as if you just scored the winning penalty in a World Cup knockout round game, or to set the tempo in a shootout. Like, Nurafkan was celebrating out of his mind. That guy was just like, yes, yes, yes. I'll make sure to throw up a photo for you guys, because I think Twitter was just absolutely going bonkers, because it was just so funny. Don't get me wrong, I love the passion, but I think there's a time and a place for it. And at that moment, maybe your celebrations were a little too much, Omid. But nonetheless, now that this game is wrapped up, Iran will face off against Egypt or Uzbekistan, and I'm assuming most likely the match will be against Egypt, because if we're playing against Uzbekistan again, I am not gonna be happy, and that's the nicest way to put it, because we have played them so many times. If and hopefully when we face off against Egypt in this final, it will finally be a worthwhile friendly match ahead of this World Cup, because that is a national team that has qualified for a few World Cups, have really top end players. Like, we're talking about Mohamed Salah, Omar Mamouche. Like, these guys are the best of the best in the Premier League. Liverpool, Manchester City. Those are the type of players I want to see our defense go up against. Yes, they might get tested. Yes, they might get exposed, but there's some learning experience from it. And in the end, if this international window is us facing off against Cape Verde and Egypt, I think that is a good international window for preparation for this World Cup. As I said, I don't think Cape Verde was the best of the best, but compared to all the other friendlies we've had, I think it's still solid. And playing against an opponent that is from another region that is qualifying for the World Cup, playing against 2 African nations, I think is good for us right now, because it's a different type of style of football that they play there that we are not maybe used to. Opponents that you don't see on a regular basis, and that they have something to prove, because as much as Egypt has these top end talents, they are not consistent successes in Africa or in World Cups. They have a point to prove. Same with Cape Verde. These preparation matches for these type of national teams is very, very important. Like the friendly against Zambia, yes, they're an African nation, but they're pretty much playing for nothing. They were not qualifying for the World Cup. The friendly was almost like, let's get our money, stuff our pockets, go to the Middle East, maybe go do a little shopping and have a good time. But there's no true meaning in preparation for these national teams. But for Cape Verde and Egypt, there's actually something for them to prepare for, and actual valuable minutes to playing against Iran, because we are consistent World Cup contenders. We've had that taste of a little bit of success winning in World Cups, having decent performances. So fingers crossed, hopefully Iran faces off against Egypt. I will be live for the match. I will be doing a review. I think that will be the type of match that Iran need, and that I would be actually really excited for, to see how we would do. I would want to see Mohamed Salah star, Omar Mamouche star. I believe he isn't going to be playing in the match against Uzbekistan because he just got married. But if they do go to this final, and again, final, as I've been saying throughout this video, I believe he would probably play. Because again, for Egypt, these are preparation matches. They need their best players. They want to start building tactics, cohesion, everything in between that we should be building as well. But under Amir Ghalenoei, I don't know what we're trying to build. Maybe like a big platter of kubide, or just something ridiculous like that, because we're not building tactics. We are just I don't know. So we'll see what happens. Overall, the Cape Verde friendly, it's okay. I'm more so excited about the possibility of playing against Egypt because that's a friendly Iran needs. And hopefully maybe we start having some slow building blocks leading up to the World Cup. It's crazy to think about. It's less than a year away. They really need to start getting their butts in gear. It's almost indefinitely looking like Amir Ghalenoei is gonna be the man at the helm. Oh man, after all these videos, I thought all this propaganda I've put across YouTube would maybe get to somebody in the federation to be like, maybe this brown guy that's speaking English might know what he's talking about. Also, quick side note, I forgot to bring this up when talking about the Cape Verde match. There was one guy that we do need to talk about that was absolutely atrocious. Ali Nemati, I've talked about it in many videos. Out of all things to experiment that Amir Ghalenoei does, he plays a center back at left back, and he's not even that great as a center back, and plays him at left back, and he was absolutely atrocious. The way Amir Ghalenoei thinks when it comes to experimenting with his national team is shit that I would never think about nor do. God forbid he experiments with playing guys like Hossein or Syed Manesh, but instead he decides to put Ali Nemati at left back. But boys and girls, my opinion only matters so much. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. If you are new to the channel, love Iranian national team content, Asian football content, this is the channel that you need to be at, so make sure to subscribe. As I said, let's try to hit 50 likes for this review. There will be another one for the match against Egypt. Fingers crossed, and I will be going live for this final. So be subscribed, have those notifications on, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this video next, and click over here as I post content weekly and you don't want to miss it. But boys and girls, I hope you'll have a lovely day.